Welcome to the Brickitect living room, which is really just a couch with a blanket on the back of it and a TV that you can't even see. I am glad to have you here, but I am going to ask some people right now to leave. If you're the type of person that gets triggered when it comes to talking about donations on YouTube or money or anything like that, I ask you to please click off this video. And I'm going to know if you clicked off this video because I'm going to look at the comments after this and it's going to be very apparent who didn't take my warning here. So if I'm talking to you right now, I'm going to give you 1 second here just to click that little button at the top there to leave or swipe out of this, whatever device you're on. And assuming that you're gone, now we'll get into the meat and potatoes of this video. Unless you're a vegan, we're gonna get into the vegetables of this video. We are barely into this video and I've already laid down some pretty rough jokes and I apologize to people that are still here. But I wanted to talk about a very polarizing topic here on YouTube, and that topic is Patreon. Something that I've actually made a video about before on Greg's World, very much like this video, and there were some responses that were very positive towards it. There were some very negative responses, which is why I did that little thing there in the beginning to kind of flush out those people, hopefully, even though they're probably still watching. Just to fill you in, if you're not on Brickitect Live, I made a live stream over the weekend talking about the idea of creating a Patreon page for Brickitect. It was actually a really nice experience because I was able to just kind of put my thoughts out there to people that were actively watching and are engaged in my content, and I was taking their feedback and we were kind of just having a really good discussion about it. I think it went on for like 30 or 40 minutes, just kind of going back and forth. If you want to kind of fill down that briefly, my idea was to create a Patreon page and hopefully be able to provide something in return for your donations. Like, my ideas were to do exclusive content, maybe do some group streams with people that were Patreons that was exclusive to them, and just try to give something back to the people that would be willing to donate to me, because I feel like that is something that is really commendable and something that I want to appreciate and give something back in return. The response on that was very mixed. It ranged from people saying, don't do Patreon at all, you're a sellout, it'd be terrible to do that, just don't. But it seemed like most people were actually supportive of the idea of me creating Patreon. They were just really concerned about the idea of me doing any kind of perks or rewards and things like that. I'll share a couple comments with you that came up after the video that I thought were really valuable. We'll start here with a comment from Infaduke, who was sort of on the side of not doing a Patreon. It said, Greg, please don't do a Patreon. Unless you have more free time than we realize, it will inevitably take away from the regular content if you decide to do the special Patreon content. Also, you'll feel obliged to provide that content and you'll have less fun doing it. Just my 2 cents. And that was something that really did come up during the Patreon talk, during the live stream. The biggest issue that I was having with Patreon was the fact that I would feel like I'm in debt to the people that are donating. And maybe that's just something to get over, but I feel like if you're giving me something, I want to give you back. But what Infaduke was saying here is that in me doing the special perks and content just for the patrons, it would inevitably take away from the people that are watching the regular content, maybe the people that can't afford to donate or don't want to donate, and he's afraid that my channel will kind of go more towards the Patreon side and bring it down, and I totally respect that. But then following that, Strawberry Crush follows up with this comment here that says, Hi Greg, I've discovered your channels and enjoy your videos and streaming since a couple of months. I would like to donate to encourage you to continue to share your great journey, but I didn't yet because I don't know how much YouTube keeps from super chat donation, and also sending a package from Canada costs a lot. I don't know anything about Patreon. If it offers an easy way for a donation, then it can be a good way, but personally I would like that donation to serve purpose for everyone to enjoy your additional content, e.g. behind the scene videos or other stream, especially for younger fans who can't donate. I don't like much the idea of offering exclusive content or access. Hope you'll keep to offer your generosity and share your content and community to everyone. I agree with Canadian Brickyard's comment in this chat. I don't think those who would like to donate need something more in return than what you're already doing. Simply continue your great work. Thanks. So this comment kind of leads towards creating a Patreon page, because this is a person that didn't want to go through Super Chat because Google takes 30%, which I don't think they knew the amount, but it's 30% of what they take. And they also didn't like the idea of me doing exclusive content for patrons. They'd rather just see me take that content and give it to everybody. And I have to say, after reading this, I was definitely really swayed towards taking that route, but it was this final comment here, I don't want to say put the nail in the coffin, but this was the comment that really took me toward the route that I chose here. And this is from Leroy. You can see this is a very lengthy comment. I'm gonna skip the first part, which basically goes into what a patron is historically. We'll pick up here towards the middle where it says, the ultimate reward for the patron was that they would be able to keep enjoying the art they love so much. Obviously there was the possibility of other rewards, such as meeting and spending time with the artists, or getting to see earlier unfinished works. And in some cases, I'm sure there were patrons who had influence on the artists, but for the most part the idea was simply, I will give you some form of financial support so you can keep producing work I enjoy. That is the basics of patronage, and hence theoretically, that should be also the basics of Patreon. And Leroy continues on here saying, now if it was me, if I ever bothered to start a channel and open a Patreon, I wouldn't worry about support levels or rewards. I also wouldn't push it and advertise it. I would include a link at the top of the page, maybe a link in the about summary, but I wouldn't otherwise mention it. If people gave money, cool. If people didn't, cool. I would assume that anyone who did support me did so because they enjoyed my work and wished to ensure that I continue to make more for them to enjoy. But that's just me, and maybe it's some food for thought. And Leroy, I took that food, I cooked it up, I stirred the pot, and I ate every piece of that food you just created right there, and I basically am following your idea. So on that, let's take a look at my Patreon page that I created this morning. You guys that are on my YouTube channel definitely recognize the header here, and it says Brickitect is creating Lego vlogs, which is exactly what I'm doing. And I made an overview here. This is sort of my about page, more or less, and it starts out in a very similar fashion to what you guys are always hearing on our channel. It says, welcome back, I'm Greg, and this is Clark, and Brickitect is the channel where we share our Lego collecting journey every day. That works so much better when Clarkman's here, but let's go back. I created this Patreon page to allow members of our community to financially support that journey. My goal is to keep this as pure as possible, so donate what you want, if you want. While I don't roll out exclusive content and mailings, there will be no formal reward levels or bribes to get your money. I only want you to donate if you actually want to help us. And in my opinion, that's exactly what Leroy was saying there. He said the idea of creating a Patreon page works, but just don't go into the reward thing. Make it something that just people want to support you because they like what you do. That's fine. If not, fine. So as you can see here on the right side of the page, the rewards, very simple. It says, become a patron. $1 more per month, which I have 0 patrons right now. No one is supporting me. It says donate as little or as much as you want to support our Lego collecting journey. And that's it. It's as simple as that. You can donate $1, you can donate $2, you can donate nothing. There's really no obligation in this. And I'm gonna take Leroy's other advice as well. I'm not really gonna discuss Patreon that much on this channel. I might give shout outs to people that join us, like say, oh, we got a new Patreon or patron, but I'm not gonna really go crazy talking about it every day. There's gonna be a link down below in the videos if people wanna check it out, but it's not gonna be something that I really push. And even though there's no rewards, I was thinking about some things this morning that I thought I could do that'd be really cool for people that do sign up, but I don't really wanna go into that because I don't even want you to think that there is gonna be something in return. I don't want this to become a bribery system like so many Patreon pages are set up, and I honestly thought that that's the way it needed to be. I thought, you know, no one's ever gonna support us unless I can give them something back. But in some people's eyes, just like the comments we read earlier, some people's eyes, it's just you doing what you're doing is the reward. I don't know, this could be a total failure. I might get a lot of backlash for this, which I'm fully expecting, but it's something I'm gonna put out there. And instead of just kind of keeping it a secret or whatever, or just hiding it, I'm sharing my Lego collecting journey. I'm gonna share this. Maybe this will help somebody else someday that has a Lego channel and they wanna take this jump to create a Patreon page. You can learn from my experiences, find out if it worked, if it didn't work. If a year from now you look and Patreon for Brickitect is completely shut down, you'll know it was a failure. But I'm gonna put it out there, and I just wanna thank you guys for sitting through this very long and rambly video. I do appreciate your time, and if you do donate, I really appreciate that as well. So I'm gonna end it now. Thank you so much for watching, and as always, we'll see you in the next video.